for you, Dan.
just for Dan.
Sin rocks. Dan, Sin rocks.
Oh, well, fine. I didn't want to clap anyway. I hate New Day.
So welcome to episode 25 of 123 Podcast. 25 episodes, man. We already made it to 25. I think the sad thing is we haven't even made it to 25 Fall Out Toys yet, and we started that like 4 years ago.
Well, in our defense, Fall Out Toys, we needed things. Fall Out Toys was about toys, and toys didn't come out every Monday.
Right, exactly.
And this is proof that if we didn't have to talk about specific things, we could really keep going.
Exactly.
Which is why one day we will own blank recap. Come on, right. We're going to take your music.
All right.
That music is free now. I might take it for the Dark Avenger, the Dark Avenger podcast.
That's between you and the other party.
I know. I'm probably not. I'm probably just going to... I'll ask you to find me something that's like it. Moving on, though.
Yeah, we're here to talk about some wrestling. Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm at a medium for this week when it comes to wrestling. I'm doing all right. I mean, personally, in the comic world, things are great. Professionally, not saying comics aren't professional, they are professional. In the professional wrestling world, which is now considered professional entertainment world, this Raw. Okay, let me find a gentle word for this.
Let me put it in terms that you will understand.
Yes.
You wanted the Charizard and got a Squirtle.
Basically, you hit the nail on the head. It wasn't as bad as having the Bulbasaur last week, but it still was not that good this week. And I know Vince McMahon is watching, you old bastard. I know you're watching. You know how I know he's watching? Summer Rae had a wrestling match.
That's true, which I did not see.
Paige!
I did not see because it was not on Hulu. And I know everybody's going to be like, why don't you just not watch Hulu? Because I can't get it in my room. I have no HD. And I actually have no cable in my room. So
I really feel like somebody from WWE has to be watching us. Because every time we say something, doesn't happen, haven't seen this person, haven't done this. You know who I haven't seen in a while wrestle? You know who I haven't seen in a while? Sting.
Well, of course. He got hurt. Remember, there's that classic episode of me.
I know. They just... Yeah, I remember. No.
Speaking of Sting, though, it's funny you mentioned him. We'll jump right into the news right here.
Philip, you swear, I swear.
There was an interesting item that I came across. WWE was talking about this. I think they talked about it either on the website or on the network. I'm not sure which. But there was a planned pay-per-view for 2001 for WCW.
Oh, yeah.
It was, had WWE not purchased them, had Time Warner not sold them, they were going to do something called Big Bang.
Yeah, Eric Bischoff wanted to buy her from Time Warner. Vince McMahon just made the better offer.
Here's the funny thing, and you'll relate to this because we're comic fans. What Big Bang was Eric Bischoff and everybody else involved with WCW realized that what they were producing at that point was total crap. And they were like, there's no way we can continue on from this point. So what they wanted to do was in programming for like a couple of months. And hype up the new WCW and completely relaunch with a clean slate.
That wouldn't have worked.
I know that, but that's what their plan was. Their plan was to New 52 WCW.
You want the truth? I'm going to tell you the truth. This is a fan of WCW from the beginning of NWO all the way through till Vince Russo, the cancer of wrestling, came in. NWO was very special. It was something that we hadn't seen yet because DX was still kind of new with WWE. But NWO took it to the next level because you got Hulk Hogan, never a bad guy in his entire career. This was his ultimate turn. You had Razor Ramon, who is now Scott Hall. You had Kevin Nash, whom I keep forgetting what he was called before. Diesel. You had all of these big wrestlers. They came in and they're like, we're taking over WCW. And before that, before the NWO, WCW had a very, it's like comic books. WWE was DC Marvel and WCW was the indie. Right now we're enjoying indie because it's not something that follows a specific pattern like WWE had to do, or WWF at the time, like DC and Marvel have to do, where they have iconic characters that they have to keep. They need a specific story. WCW was like, this is a wrestling organization. Here are some really great wrestlers, and they did wrestling their way.
Yeah, and Sting was basically invincible.
Basically,
if you want to equate, yeah.
Well, before it was called WCW, he was a little bit more invincible when he was fighting. Remember when he wanted to be part of the Four Horsemen, and he was almost in, and he started feuding with Rick?
Yeah, I meant like if you're comparing it to indie comics, Sting would be the invincible of WCW.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was invincible.
No.
For a time, he was.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, I feel like WCW had a great run with NWO. The point is, when NWO ended, the big question mark happened, what's next? Because Wolfpack came in then, and the Wolfpack and the NWO red and white. You had the LWO for a little while there. Or not the LWO. Was it the LWO?
Yeah, it was Latino World Order.
Right, I was right. And Eddie Guerrero really made that run awesome. But then things just started going south. Eric and Hogan had too much say because Time Warner, what's his name, didn't care. Yeah. He just was funding his own wrestling organization. Hey, I'm big shit. I have my own wrestling organization. But then they changed. This is where WCW ended, when they changed the logo. Remember the classic WCW logo?
Yeah.
They changed it to that pointy W with the C that did the weird shit and the other W. That was the end of WCW for me. That's when things really took a turn to crap.
Yeah, I mean, it took a turn for crap all around. I mean, they tried to turn Sting heel for about a minute, and he attacked Flair, who was a good guy at the time, but everybody still loved Sting, so that lasted maybe a week. And they did the whole New Blood thing. And
that was horrible.
The problem was, like you said, those wrestlers, Hogan, Nash, Goldberg, and everything, they were scripting their own matches. They were basically writing the cards themselves.
And Goldberg was John Cena. I got to be honest with you. Goldberg was John Cena. He only got beat once, and that's because of a stun baton, and that was too unbelievable. It was kind of like when he lost. It was like when The Undertaker lost against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. It's just stupid. But yeah, they took a turn down the wrong path. But this thing, when I read this, that was their plan to close down WCW for a period of time and then bring it back with a completely clean slate. It's like wrestling doesn't work like that. You can do that with a movie franchise or even anything that doesn't have like a well-established history that people can actually go back and look at. Or if, I don't know, it's weird. It's just not a medium that kind of caters to that. That would be really hard to do.
I agree. It had its own feel. You can't reboot that. You reboot that, you're not WCW anymore. Then you might as well call yourself something completely different.
Exactly. And if they had done that, that would have been different. If they completely rebranded the company, changed it to a different name. But then again, we saw that happen with TNA, and they tried to do that.
And it failed.
Impact Wrestling, it just doesn't work.
It doesn't. The thing is, WWE got too big. And they got all the WCW wrestlers. Mm-hmm. Even if Eric Bischoff got what he wanted and he did this, the company still would have sunk. It would have sunk a year or two later instead. And then more wrestlers would have probably defected. Because remember, Jericho defected, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, and Chris Benoit. All three of them defected at the same time. Big Show.
Saturn, all four.
Perry Saturn. That's right. I forgot about Saturn. Goldberg Goldberg was after WCW closed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was.
No, Booker T was also after. I'm trying to.
No, Booker T was the first one. Well, you're right. He was after.
It was after.
During
the first one in that came as WCW.
Yeah, I think that might have been it.
Big Show I think was the only other one.
Yeah, Big Show, the Radicals, and Chris Jericho. Those are the main ones I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that was about it. And then everything, like Arn Anderson ended up working in the back.
X-Pac. Because he left WWE and went to NWO, and then he came back and joined DX.
Right, yeah. Well, X-Pac was back and forth. He jumped back and forth several times.
Yeah.
So
because he was problematic to work with. But that's beside the point.
I don't know. I just feel like WCW is done. I don't know why WWE feels the need to mention Big Bang or even bring it up because it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, no, I think it's just looking back on it. It's the same reason they run WCW programming or the Monday Night Wars on the network. It's people are nostalgic, especially they've had Scott Hall. They're putting out his Blu-ray soon, so maybe it's just some of that nostalgia going on.
Do you ever wonder if since Vince owns WCW, now I say no off the bat. So before you even think I'm advocating for it, I'm saying no. Wouldn't it be cool if, I mean, obviously you can't start a war anymore because the person who owns the companies will own the company. But wouldn't it be cool if you had another show? I mean, you have NXT, you have WWE. What if you brought back WCW and let somebody else run it? But obviously it's under the WWE banner. Bring back the WCW belt. No crossing like NXT. No crossing unless they move up. But literally the wrestlers on WCW are WCW.
Okay.
I don't see it working, but I know a few people mentioned that would be interesting if they opened another show, but I don't feel that it would work because it's the same company.
I think if they had done that from the onset, when they first bought WCW, if they kept it the way that it seemed like it was going to go, where Shane owned it and it was its own entity, and they did, even if they did wars back and forth, if it remained its own entity and they were able to use those wrestlers, that was a big problem with the whole thing. They could not use Sting, Nash, Goldberg, Steiner, all of them because they were under $1 million contracts per year. They could not compete. So I mean that was the problem with that, the whole WCW invasion, because they didn't have their big guns. But if they were able to from that point keep it separate, it might have worked. Now, if they try to do something like that, to me it would feel like the same thing that happened when they tried to do it with ECW.
Yeah, that was just a pay-per-view.
Well, no, they did. They actually brought back the band, the whole brand of the ECW. It was its own show, like on Tuesday nights. It was like an hour-long show, but it was like a watered-down version of the original ECW.
Right, because they owned it. So basically, Heyman didn't have the same say as he did before.
Yeah, and even when Heyman showed up, it just wasn't the same. I mean, they tried. They brought in RVD. They brought in.
I think I remember the pay-per-views. That's all I remember.
Yeah, they did the one-night stand pay-per-views, but there for a while they had the weekly show, and they did some. It was a little bit more risque than the main programming, but not much. And then they brought in Big Show to ECW, and Kurt Angle went to ECW, and it was like that. It was like it's not ECW anymore; it's WWE Light, So it just didn't work, and I think that would be the same thing with WCW if they tried to do that.
Mm. I think that I agree. I was just wondering what your take on it would have been.
My take on it would be instead of do that, buy TNA. Don't tell anybody. Keep it. I mean, and leave it be its own entity, and actually bring in good storytellers. If you're gonna go that route, if you want another show, but they don't really need that because they have NXT.
TNA, if they bought it, it would just literally be so they can own the superstars.
Exactly. And half of those guys would be out of jobs.
Because they wouldn't hire them.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the whole reason.
That's why Vince leaves them alone, I think, because what is he going to do with, like, 5 really good superstars? And the Hardys?
Yeah. I think, honestly, Vince just looked back at it and said, eventually this thing's going to die and I'll pick it to pieces. And that's exactly what he's doing now.
He's letting it die because he knows nobody cares anymore. We don't care. We're literally talking about it like it's just a show.
Yeah. And it is dying, and it has been dying for a long time. And now all the best guys that were there are in WWE, so or most of them anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, we spent a fair amount of time on that.
Yes.
But speaking of people coming and going, this isn't a rumor. It's reported that Wade Barrett, the person that we both have said millions of times, he walks in, walks out. He was literally dressed for wrestling this past Monday. It was the League of Nations in one of the matches. And instead of putting him in, they brought Sheamus back.
Yeah.
Who's injured, by the way. Semi-injured. They put a semi-injured wrestler in before Wade Barrett.
Yeah, so to get to your point, what you were saying, Wade Barrett's leaving. His contract is up. I think it's in June. Yeah, okay. Somebody in the comments can correct us if we're wrong, but his contract's up and he's not renewing. He did comment on Twitter. He was like, "I'll say more at a later date when it's more appropriate. Right now, I'm gonna give 100% to WWE," and that's smart because he's still under contract technically.
And he could change his mind.
Yeah, but I suspect, like most people probably suspect, he's leaving because he's not being used correctly. He's being underutilized.
Absolutely.
And
100% absolutely.
Yeah, and he could probably do better elsewhere. So more power to him. I commend him. I think he's good. I just think they've never known what to do with him since Nexus.
So he'll go to Ring of Honor or somewhere.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what you didn't put down? Brie Bella also is claiming retirement this summer. Brie Bella is going to finish off her career, and she's going to go off with Daniel Bryan, and they're going to go have a family, which I think is great.
Yeah.
I think that's great. It allows, I mean, we were talking about this, and you're like, you didn't like her anyway. And the truth is, I mean, I don't care. I've never really watched Brie Bella wrestle too often. Personally, I think it's a perfect opportunity with Nikki out, with Brie leaving. You know, you can't keep Charlotte, Becky, and Paige as the only three, and Team Bad as the only, like, 5 or 6 people. You can move up Asuka, you can move up Bayley, you can move up... I'm not saying to move all of them up. I'm saying you have the option of Bayley, Asuka, Nia Jax. Please fire Eve Marie. For God's sakes, fire this stupid girl. And who else is the blonde girl? The two that are feuding with Asuka.
Carmella? Oh, no. Dana Brooke and Emma.
Emma, yeah, well, I hate Emma, but
yeah.
You move those two up as heels. You have a plethora of really great female wrestlers. So, I mean, if Brie retires, you have you could literally stick your hand in the honey jar and pull out gold, regardless.
Yeah, no, I agree, and you know I'm all for that. If she wants to go, if she's done with her career, she's been the Divas champion a few times now. That's she's done everything she could possibly do.
Now, if only we could get John Cena to do exactly what Daniel Bryan did.
Never gonna happen.
Nikki, no, it'll never happen. No, his life is wrestling. That's why he won't marry Nikki, and that's why he won't have kids with Nikki.
Yeah.
Man, she must be going nuts on Total Divas. I can't wait. You got to tell me if this episode ever comes up.
So far, I mean, I don't know. She keeps saying she's okay with it, and John Cena actually turned around. The latest episode I watched, which I think I'm an episode behind, John Cena actually said that he would marry her. He'd possibly marry her, but he still won't have kids. But she kind of feels like now he's caving on that. Maybe he'll cave on that later on.
Stupid.
So, it's funny, but no,
John Cena's an idiot. This is the chance for his legacy to move on, and he's like, I'll just die alone. My son won't be better than me.
I think he doesn't want to be an absent father by being on the road all the time. So, I mean, I can understand that to a degree, but and I get because I think he's the kind of guy. He's going to be like when he's done wrestling, he's going to work in the office. He's going to be behind the scenes. He's going to be training people. He's going to do something with WWE for the rest of his life.
Unfortunately.
So, I don't know. But somebody else that may be coming back, I don't really necessarily want to see him, but he might be coming back as Rey Mysterio.
I think it'd be cool to have him back. I mean, you got Kalisto,
That's why we don't need Rey Mysterio. We have, and not saying they're interchangeable, but they are very similar in styles, and Kalisto can do the stuff that Rey Mysterio used to be able to do. That's my only thing. His knees are so bad, man. He's had so many surgeries on those knees. He needed to hang it up before he just cripples himself. I'm more concerned about his well-being.
Yeah, I doubt he could do what he used to do when he first started in WWE. Yeah. He was another one that defected. Rey Mysterio defected. That's right.
Yeah, you're right. So I don't know. I like Rey Mysterio. I always have. Always been a fan of his. But I just last time he was there, he just wasn't quite the same, and he didn't do much when he was there. All he did was feud with Alberto Del Rio.
And then that ended, and both of them left at the same time almost.
Pretty much. So I don't know. I mentioned Kurt Angle earlier in the show.
Yes, you did, and there's something with Kurt Angle.
Guess what he's doing? Is he going to be on a wrestling show? No. Is he MMA? No. You know what he's going to be doing? He's going to be appearing on an episode of Duck Dynasty.
What's Duck Dynasty?
You don't know what Duck Dynasty is, for
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can tell everybody what Duck. Oh God, Brent.
I think everybody knows what Duck Dynasty is. I don't need to bore people with what Duck Dynasty is. I don't understand why Kurt Angle, of all people, is going to. I could understand Shawn Michaels being on this. But Kurt Angle? Okay. Whatever.
I would have liked, at this point, come back to WWE, Kurt. You're killing yourself. You are killing yourself.
Man, I don't even know. So.
You want to talk about the video game so we can get into the actual Raw and get this over with like a shot?
Okay, well, there's a couple other things too. Real quick, Stephen Amell raffling off his Slammy Award.
Oh,
You told
I missed that. Oops.
Yeah, for a good cause. For an 8-year-old child battling stage 4 neuroblastoma cancer, you donate $5 or more to a GoFund campaign, and you'll be entered to win his Slammy Award. So I think that's pretty cool. Stephen Amell always does stuff like this.
Brent, we should donate $100, and if we win the Slammy, I'll keep it here 1 month. You keep it there the next month. We keep bouncing it back and forth.
That's going to be some expensive shipping.
If we do it,
maybe 6 months here and 6 months there.
Okay, 6 months, 6 and 6. I'm still waiting for Vince to offer us those announcer jobs. Then we don't have to worry about passing it around. We literally just take it with us everywhere we go.
True. Sorry, it's late. All right,
it's not late. It's too early.
Well, either one depends on your perspective, I guess. The Tokyo Dome is apparently going to be in the next DLC pack for WWE 2K16, so that's kind of cool. If you like to,
is it just a stage, or is it wrestlers with it?
It looks like it's going to have wrestlers with it. It's going to have, because you're going to be able to have a Alundra Blaze and Larry Zbyszko and Arn Anderson and Tatsumi Fujinami and the Bushwhackers. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And the Outsiders versus Harlem Heat.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. And the last little piece of news we had was not really news. I just wanted to make a comment about it. WWE relaunched their website. Did you see this?
Alan told me about it. He's like, ooh, look at how nice WWE looks. And I looked and I'm like,
It's one of those sites. I actually prefer the previous version, even though it wasn't that great.
I only frequented ever the shop.
Oh. I just looked at it for the pay-per-views. But yeah, it's turned into what most sites have turned into now. It's basically a blog site. If you look at it, it's set up like a blogger, and it's one of those that scrolls forever. You just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll.
Oh, the infinite scroller.
Yeah, it's one of those, which I can't stand those kind, because it's hard to find your place back when you're like, if you see something, do you want to keep looking and trying to find it again?
Good luck.
Yeah.
That's like Messenger on Facebook.
Exactly. Yeah, I hate those kind of websites, and that's what they've gone to. But that's the way of the future, which is kind of going backwards in my opinion, but whatever. Whatever. That's our news.
Sure.
So now we can talk about some actual wrestling.
Well, then I guess we won't be talking about Raw. Have a good night, everybody.
Well, not in my case, because 4 matches were missing from Hulu.
Well, not you for sure there, but I'm sorry. How many matches, not counting Hulu, unfortunately? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8?
8 matches.
Yeah, 8. I missed one.
8 matches.
And I missed half of them.
And that's fine, because the only match that was worth watching and fun to watch was The Miz versus AJ Styles, which basically is a rinse and repeat also.
Yeah. Okay. But Big E and Mark Henry, I know you hate New Day. That's fine.
They hurt his ribs, he's out.
I know. That's what I was getting to. That was.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought you were going to get to the match.
That was an okay match, I thought, for 2 big guys, which is usually kind of boring to see 2 big guys fight. But it was a decent match. But when he picked him up and Mark Henry just fell off of his shoulder and fell to the mat, I knew immediately that the dude was hurt. I don't think he was supposed to. I don't think it was supposed to end that way.
No, not
Yeah,
at all.
he was like, "I'm hurt, pin me quick, get me out of here." I think this is what basically he was saying to Big E, and yeah, that was an unfortunate ending for Mark Henry.
And that was like, wow. When I saw him pin, I mean, Alan is very, me and him. He walked away after the third to last match. He's like, let me know who wins from the third to last all the way to the end. So I gave him a rundown, and he didn't feel like he missed much anyway. But that was a horrible. I mean, Big E cannot beat Mark Henry in reality. Let's be honest. I mean, Big E's a big guy, but Mark Henry's the world's strongest man. Okay. One slap chop and he's done.
Yeah, I mean, Big E's faster, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was okay, but yeah, it was an unfortunate end, and it kind of ruined things going forward. Now, the match before that to open the show, I thought that was a good match.
That was the decent match. That was the way you feel about Big E and Mark Henry. I felt the same way. The problem was, okay, it opened up with Dean Ambrose again, with Brock Lesnar. Who cares? Stephanie comes out and's like, you know what? You should defend that belt. So it became a fatal five-way, not a four-way, a five-way between Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, Tyler Breeze,
Dolph
Ziggler,
Stardust.
and Stardust. I swear to God, if Tyler Breeze won, I was gonna flip the channel off. I wasn't gonna watch because that should have been that. I would have known that was Titus O'Neil's spot then for sure. If Stardust won, I probably would have.
You'd be questioning everything at that point.
I would have questioned the rest of the night, yeah, but I would have stayed on it. If Dean Ambrose should have won, because we all know he's not going to get that push, which we actually do have to do Fastlane predictions by the end of this show.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But, no, Kevin Owens, the only way Kevin Owens can beat Dean Ambrose is if there's another 4 people going after Dean Ambrose at the same time. So Kevin Owens got the belt back. That was the part that kind of annoyed me. I said if Kevin Owens won, I'd be pissed. Because it ain't right that Kevin Owens gets the belt back just because Dean Ambrose got the spotlight. Because now, nothing really truly changed. Even though Dean Ambrose beat him twice to win and retain the belt, doesn't matter. On Raw, he lost it, and now Kevin Owens will hold the belt for X amount of time because you know he's going to lose a win to Dolph Ziggler on Fastlane.
Yeah, see, that's what I think the whole reason for him winning was so he could lose it to Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, you think he's going to lose it to Dolph Ziggler?
I think he's going to lose it to Dolph Ziggler.
I think he's going to retain it against.
I think it's going to retain. Well, we'll get into that when we do predictions, but well, either way, it was so they'd have something to fight for.
That's dumb, though.
I know, but if he goes in with the title, with the Intercontinental title to the main event, then that's one title less they can defend on the show. So.
Oh, God forbid.
I know, but no. Okay. I feel like if Ambrose had kept the title, then it was pretty
obvious.
It was pretty obvious that he was not going to win the main event. There's no way. I think him losing it, even if it's false hope, it gives hope that he could win.
I feel angry now. If he doesn't win, I'm going to be very annoyed.
I agree with you.
Because they took away his belt. Even if he doesn't win against Triple H, which would be very bad. You know, somebody wrote an article saying Triple H having the World Heavyweight Championship belt right now, it diminishes the the meaning of it. Because regardless, every night somebody's wearing that belt. You see it on a shoulder, on a whatever. He is not at Raw sometimes. He's never on SmackDown. So we haven't seen the belt now, and we won't see the belt now until frickin' WrestleMania. Yeah. The belt is absent. You never do that. Even when Seth Rollins had the belt, it was either, even if he didn't wrestle, he was there and it was around his arm.
Yeah. Well, John Cena too, Randy Orton, all these guys. No, I completely agree with you. I think it was, we all agree it was a terrible decision to put that belt on Triple H. So, but, they were out all their big guys. They had to do something. We've talked about that before. No need to go back into it, but It is what it is.
And then, of course, you had Dean Ambrose at the end of the night with Roman Reigns. The whole "I'm gonna get you."
Yeah, I was really disappointed that they went there. Because, up until that point, it's like they tried to do what they normally do with two friends that have to be in the same match, and it hasn't worked because their bond is so tight. But then all of a sudden, they go there. And it's the same old story we've seen with every single partnership when the title's in between them. Every single time. And I was really hoping that they would just stay on the same page and, be the brothers that they are. I hate that they went there. That ruined it for me.
That ruined it for me too. So that was the first match. We did Big E. I mentioned AJ Styles. Summer Rae somehow defeated Paige.
Didn't see that match.
It was bullshit.
Well, anytime Summer Rae beats Paige, yeah.
It was like, really? You insult Paige by having a person who hasn't wrestled in forever, who played a shit job as a manager, beat Paige, who has not only won women's championships, but stood toe-to-toe with Charlotte and was cheated out of winning. You're going to have her first loss against Summer Rae. That's worse than having Titus O'Neil's last match against Adam Rose and him losing.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad I didn't see that. I also didn't see Heath Slater versus Zack Ryder.
It was Titus O'Neil revisited.
Okay. I didn't see League of Nations versus Lucha Dragons.
It was revisited from last week.
Okay. And I didn't see Becky Lynch versus Naomi.
What was last week? I'm trying to remember. Was Becky against the other one? I think
Maybe.
Becky went up against the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Becky defeated Naomi because Tamina, she knocked Tamina. Something happened with Tamina, and she got Naomi, and then Tamina came in, they double-teamed her. And then after she got the beating, which was very dumb, that's when Sasha Banks came out.
Okay.
After they left the ring.
Yeah. And the worst match of the night for me was Big Show and Braun Strowman.
That was dumb.
I was like, really, that's how you're going to end Raw with, I mean, obviously, you have Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns stuff too, but...
That was before that, though.
I know it was before that. So you end Raw with Big Show and the Wyatts?
And it was all a promo, because you called it the Titans versus the Wyatts, and it's 3-on-4, not 4-on-4.
Right, and Kane comes back and is like, oh, we're supposed to care now. What? I don't care.
Exactly. When I saw Kane come through the ring, I was like, dude, no. Go back under the ring. You lost against Seth Rollins twice. Get out.
You know what I was thinking at that moment? I was like, it's taking him so long to get out of the ring. Why don't they just stop his head in like whack-a-mole? That's what I was thinking.
I was waiting for Strowman to do something like that.
I was like, that's just so stupid. I don't know. Yeah, this Raw was not the best Raw. It was...
All right. We should actually do this. I forgot to mention this before we started recording, but if you guys would like to do this, I would love to do this as a segment at towards the end of the show when Brant and I give our rating. If you guys want to comment us, or maybe, I don't know how, maybe on Dark Avenger Nation or something, you guys can comment your review, your ranking 1 through 5 of Raw, and we'll read them off, because Alan told me to say this Raw was so bad, he doesn't even give it a 0. He said it doesn't even deserve a grade. Me, I gave it a 1, which is a 1 score higher than what I gave it last time.
I would give it a 2 just because I like the AJ Styles match and I like the Fatal 5-Way.
The 1 is because of that.
Okay.
It would have been a 0.5.
Okay. Yeah, maybe 2 is a little bit generous. 1.5.
You didn't see the matches, Brant.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. You got to take that into account. I didn't see half the matches, so I'm only seeing half a show here.
It was not. I'm sorry, but this is the second Raw, and now we're going to Fastlane.
Yeah.
And that's it. And SmackDown didn't produce anything except what we predicted with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho said, I'll tell you on SmackDown if I want to fight you.
Oh, I hated that. I
was like, really? You're really... Everybody knew. I even said to Alan, I'm like, dude, they're going to wrestle at Fastlane. You know it. I know it. And guess what happened on SmackDown? I happened to walk into the living room when that shtick was going on. And, yeah, he got the match. Ooh.
Oh. Is that... I mean, I know Brock Lesnar was going to be on SmackDown. Is there anything else that happened? Because I didn't watch it.
I only know that happened. I never pay attention to SmackDown because even if something really important happens, I don't care.
Yeah. pretty much. Um, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose fought the Dudleys.
Yeah, I forgot the Dudleys had their little shtick where they're not doing. Here's where again PG works its way in. The Dudley boys are not doing tables anymore.
What?
Oh, you didn't see that?
No,
shtick.
I did not see that.
Oh yeah, the Dudley boys. It was on SmackDown. It was on Raw.
I didn't see it.
They came out and talked and they said, you know what? We're the baddest team, yada yada yada, and we're done with the table. Look it up now on the internet. No, you got to see that. And I'm sorry, but that Goldust bullcrap again on both SmackDown and Raw. I'm so tired. This is not Booker T Goldust. This is stupid.
See, I didn't see that it happened again than what you showed me last time. The video thing.
Yeah, he was on a date with his girlfriend, R-Truth, and the waiter was Goldust, and he got champagne all over. He had the champagne between his legs, and he popped the cork, and he got the girl wet.
Of course.
Of course.
Okay. No, I didn't see any of that. So,
it was dumb.
I believe. Yeah, okay. The Dudley's tables are going for. I did not see this at all.
You should see this. See this. It's very short.
I'll watch it afterwards. I'll watch it after the show, I promise.
Okay. Oh, I just wanted your reaction to it. It was a very short conversation where Devon basically said, they thought they were, when we came back, your nostalgia was going to kick up, that you were going to get old times. No, we're still, we're the baddest tag team, yada, yada, yada. We're not here for, your nostalgia or your whatever, and we're not here to get the tables. We're here to win the belts. So they basically retired the table. They're like, that table you saw, that was the last time. We don't care what you want. We don't care what anybody wants. We only care what we want.
That's just awful.
So basically, no more tables for the Dudleys. They're done with it. What a way to retcon the Dudleys.
Get this. Triple H came out at the end of SmackDown with the belt. And it went off the air as Triple H is staring down Brock Lesnar with Reigns and Ambrose on the ground.
It better not be Lesnar versus Triple H at WrestleMania.
It better not be, but they're trying to build up SmackDown. But most of it's repeat matches still. That's what bothers me. It's still repeats. But anyway, so Raw was terrible. SmackDown was because we didn't watch it. Time for Fastlane predictions.
Oh, thank God.
I got the matches.
How many Oh, the kickstart is going to be a championship match this time, which I thought was crazy. Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah. So
before the pay-per-view.
Right, 6 matches on the actual pay-per-view plus that one. So we got 7 total. We'll start right there. Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio for the
Are you going to write these down this time?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's going to be Kalisto, unless they cheat. If they cheat, then it's going to be Alberto.
Okay. I think it's going to be Kalisto as well.
You're not going to put if they cheat?
Oh, it's the League of Nations. No, I think Kalisto wins.
Okay.
Flat out.
Okay, I'll back you up with that.
Okay. So, we both think Kalisto?
Yep.
Okay. Next match. I'll say that one. AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. I'm going AJ.
I'm going AJ, but I have this very deep feeling, and I'll be okay if I'm wrong, that Jericho's going to have a heel turn. Because he's still not fully heel. I have a feeling he's going to try to cheat.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with AJ because I love AJ, and I think that he should win his first pay-per-view match.
Okay. Next up, we got Ryback, Big Show, and Kane versus the Wyatt family.
You predict first, because I'm thinking.
They've been beating the Titans, so I think the Titans beat them. So Kane, Big Show, and Ryback. I don't care either way.
I don't care either way, but I'm trying to think of who I think, thinking outside of the I want the heroes to always win box.
Yeah. I just think that that's the way it's going to go because they've been beat down all these weeks. They need revenge.
All right, I'll go with you on that, but I still say there's a pretty good chance that the Wyatts could win also. Because there's 4 of them. Actually, let me be diverse. I'm going to say the Wyatts.
Okay. One of us needs to because... Alright. Next up, we got Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler for the...
I don't care.
You don't care? I say Ziggler. You say Owens or Ziggler?
Oh, do I have to watch that match?
You don't have to watch it, just predict it.
It would be so dumb if Kevin Owens lost the belt. I don't know. This match is like... I'm going to say Owen. I'll be different from you just to be different from you, so one of us will be right.
Okay.
I don't care, though. To be honest, this match and the Wyatt match, if I'm wrong, I don't care about this pay-per-view so far, mostly. So personally, if I'm wrong about Fastlane, boo-hoo. I'll wait for WrestleMania to be right or wrong.
All right, so next up we have Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks versus Team Bad. Can I go here?
I think this is where that girl's gonna come back.
Can I go first here?
Yeah, I think she'll come back and help Team Bad win.
See, you say you can go first, but you went first.
Oh no, I said you could go first for the other one.
No, I meant for this one.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, go first.
It's too late now. I think Team Bad because I think Sasha will turn on Becky.
That's a possibility too.
Or they'll just not get along, whatever. She'll walk out on her or something.
2-1. Exactly.
All right. Charlotte versus Brie, Divas Championship.
How many months until summer?
Well, this is February, so you can math.
I think Charlotte and then Brie's going to get a rematch for WrestleMania with, like, Paige or something.
I wonder how long Nikki's
out. 1 less month than John Cena.
Okay. Yeah, I think Charlotte too.
Is New Day fighting?
New Day is not fighting because there's only one match left.
Wow. A pay-per-view without New Day. We should pick it.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
It isn't a new day.
So, obviously, Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
I am going to put my vote. I mean, everybody knows that Roman Reigns is going to win and go after Triple H because that's the feud that they're really pushing for. But I'm
going to go out on a limb here. If you want a second to think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to say Ambrose.
Damn it, I should have gone first. All right, fine. You say Ambrose? All right, I'm going to put my name down for Brock. However, if the Wyatts interfere, which might be the case if they want to feud with Lesnar at WrestleMania, if the Wyatts interfere, it's going to be Reigns, I think. So this way, either way, all the bases are covered.
Okay. I think it's a long shot to make Ambrose. I think it's going to be Brock or Reigns or a triple threat or something like that. Maybe it'll be a fatal four-way and it'll be all three of them. It's happened once before. But yeah, I'm holding out hope that it could be Ambrose because I think everybody would love that. Ambrose versus Triple H.
I think it needs to be Ambrose for one simple reason. They took his Intercontinental belt away.
Yeah. They
really brought him back down to the slums just because he's part of this. He deserves it now. Roman Reigns had the belt for what? A whole month. At least he held it for a month.
Right.
Dean Ambrose, 0.
Yeah. And Ambrose
deal with Kevin Owens.
Ambrose is popular. Reigns is popular with the kids. He's the new John Cena. And I love Reigns. And I hate that he's got that stigma, but, people just prefer Dean Ambrose for some reason.
I watched a video recently of The Shield when there was The Shield, the three of them. I like them better like The Shield.
Oh, I do too. I love The Shield. But they're all great on their own. For some reason, Reigns just can't connect with fans as well.
I think it would be more believable for Seth Rollins to come back and try to feud with Ambrose than it would be for Reigns.
I'd rather him not feud with either one of them. But I don't know who.
Triple H?
AJ Styles.
I want Kevin Owens to feud with AJ Styles.
Well, that too. Who knows how long Rollins is out?
Rollins is going to be out at least another 5 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
there's time. Yeah, that's true. There's time.
We'll see. But that's our predictions, and we're just over 45 minutes, so we should probably start wrapping up.
Little tidbit for Fastlane, guys. Like the Royal Rumble, Michael and I will probably be doing a live show. What are the last two matches again? The women's and then the world?
If they're in order, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't care about the women. So we're gonna do a live show for the last match, which should be about a good 30 minutes anyway. So after the second to last match, we'll do a live show. Obviously, same thing. We'll give live reactions. Review will be up Monday morning for Fastlane. That's what we're planning. That's why we're recording this. And right after this, we're doing NXT. So this is going up Saturday morning. NXT is going up Sunday morning, and Monday morning will be Fastlane's pay-per-view. So you got 3 days of 1, 2, 3. 1 today, 2 tomorrow, 3 Monday.
That's right.
1, 2, 3 podcast. We need a theme song.
Yes. Somebody get on that.
Please. There's some musical people out there.
Exactly. Dan, Sin Rocks.
Dan, Sin Rocks.
That's going to be our theme song. No.
Do I still have it up? If I do, then we can close out on that.
I don't know. So, yeah, tune in for all three of those, and look for us on SoundCloud soon.
Yes, SoundCloud. Episode 30 will be the first SoundCloud episode.
Yeah. Which we still have to talk about. Can you not find it?
No.
Okay, then we'll just wrap here. Tune in to the next episode for NXT, guys. And thanks for joining us. I'm giving you time. Leave in the comments below what you thought of this Raw.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Damn, too much. All right,
I actually recorded the horn. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for NXT.
This has been a Gonzo Goose production.